We do need to delete entire agencies as opposed to leave part of them behind. Because if you leave part of them behind, it's easy. It's kind of like if leaving a weed. If you don't remove the roots of the weed, then it's easy for the weed to grow back. But if you remove the roots of the weed, it doesn't stop weeds from ever growing back, but it makes it harder. So we have to really delete entire agencies, many of them.
Elon Musk likened some American government agencies to weeds today, telling Dubai's annual World Governments Summit via video link that certain agencies, certain departments need to be gotten rid of entirely, which appears to be happening right as we speak. Widespread layoffs are being reported across multiple agencies, including the Departments of Education and Energy, as well as the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Joining us now, former director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Rohit Chopra. Okay, just basics here. What does the CFPB do? What was it installed for?
Well, it was created after the financial crisis to make sure that something like that could never happen again. When your bank or financial company cheats you, it's the CFPB that is holding those big, powerful companies accountable. And over the years, it's put back billions of dollars in people's pockets, stopped illegal foreclosures, protected military families, senior citizens, and more. So this whole situation is very bizarre. If we care about lowering costs in our day-to-day life, this little agency is punching way above its weight class to really put money back in people's pocketbooks.
Why do the Republicans hate it so much? I mean, they've wanted to get rid of the CFPB for a while now. It's not just Elon Musk, not just Donald Trump.
Well, I think this situation is a little bit bizarre. On one hand, President Trump campaigned on capping credit card interest rates because it is true. People are being absolutely gouged by the big credit card companies. And the CFPB is the one that holds those companies accountable. President Trump also called out Jamie Dimon and Brian Moynihan, the CEOs of JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America, for improperly debanking people. It's the CFPB that is making sure that banks are closing fake accounts and keeping open real accounts. So I don't really understand how this is meshing. We do know that there are a lot of big tech companies, Facebook, Google, they want to get into banking and payments. We know that Twitter or X has inked a deal to start turning itself into a payments and banking operation. And many people are wondering if that's the reason why that they want to shut down this agency that has done so much.
Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, created the CFPB. She's been a huge proponent of it. She's very vocal about it. I want to play her speaking to Morning Joe on Tuesday, talking about the need for the agency.
Donald Trump ran for office saying he would lower prices for American consumers. He was going to cut costs. He said he would do it on day one. He said right after the election that he was elected on groceries, that he was going to bring down prices. Instead of doing that, he's turned around and he's actually cutting the parts of government that help bring down costs for American families. And the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is the perfect example.
The Bureau hasn't been eliminated entirely yet. Can it function with just a handful of employees? And do you expect that eventually they're going to try to get rid of it altogether?
Well, I don't know. That's what we have to see, and what we have to make sure that the CFPB is still doing its law enforcement work. I led the agency for several years, and we really got back over $9 billion in refunds and penalties. And there are a lot of big investigations against very big companies. We saw that our work helped lower the costs on so many different junk fees that people were paying. We know that we have injected competition into more of the markets where people feel stuck. You know, it was just last month, We got $150 million around back for people who use Cash App, the popular payments network. So I think this is pretty strange, and I would hope that it is not part of a broader effort to defund the police that oversee big companies so that they can run wild, break the law with impunity, and hike up the costs of everyday expenses that we face. You know, Katie, people paid over $100 billion in credit card interest. I don't think that that should be another expense where people are gouged even further, and the CFPB is the one who can stop that.
Rohit Chopra, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate your time.